Greetings, heroes. It is time for another edition of Book Club. So we are almost done with the E-Myth Revisited. And as I said last time, it is time to get our hands dirty and actually do something. So here's what we've gone over so far. We've done most of these things. This week we're going to go over systems, and then next week we will go over marketing. So we're doing these last two chapters out of order. So let's talk about the importance of systems. So we started out our challenge this week talking about metrics and knowing your numbers. And this is basically what systems are. Systems means that you do the things that you do the same way every time. So you're doing them consistently. And according to the book, systems consist of the structure, which is what you do, and substance, which is how you do it. So let's look at a structure example. It could be a sales process. So the author talks about the PowerPoint selling process he has, which is you set an appointment, you do a needs analysis, and then you present a solution. We're not going to get down in the weeds in this because there are all sorts of, sales process systems. You can have systems for, your marketing, systems for your payroll, systems for everything. But the idea is just doing the same thing over and over so it essentially runs itself. And then substance, the example of that is how do you put your spin on it? How do you put your personal flair, your style? So, for example, you might have a sales script, but how do you inject your personality on it so you don't sound like a robot? And then in the book, this is going to look really familiar if you were on one of our mastermind calls yesterday or saw the video about knowing your numbers, because this is his version of a system, and you'll notice it looks pretty close to the one I shared yesterday. So he suggests, for example, in this system, in tracking results, how many calls were made, how many prospects were reached. Out of that, how many appointments were scheduled, how many were confirmed, how many were actually held, how many presentations did you do, how many needs analysis did you confirm, how many were completed, how many presentations were scheduled, confirmed, completed, and then the big one, how many solutions did you sell, and what was the average dollar value. So very close to the same system I have. This should be the type of thing that you are now looking at for your business. What is your system? So, for example, let's say you're Dr. Alicia. When you go out and get clients, you're going to do some kind of a pre-interview with them. And from that, you will schedule an appointment. And from the appointments, you're, I think, going to come up with some kind of a solution, present the solution to the patients, and then they will, hopefully buy into that solution. And then you can break down those numbers into, what is my dollar per patient? What is my dollar per visit? And even backward to what is my dollar per whatever types of marketing she uses. So what is my dollar per phone call I make or per ad I run, things like that. So these are the type of metrics that you need to start looking as you work to systematize your business. So for discussion in your groups, have you systematized your business, or are you still winging it? For example, if you're making cold calls, which a lot of us do, are you just saying whatever comes off of your tongue, or do you have a script in front of you? I went back to scripts this week, and I have to say it makes it much easier. I don't have to think about it. I can actually do other work while the phone's ringing, because as soon as the person picks up, I've got the script right there. So it makes me more efficient, and I can now A/B track. I can change things in my script and see if I get better responses. So do you make use of scripts? Do you make use of email templates? Do you have standardized messaging that you use on all your different platforms, whether it's printed or social media, email blasts, whatever? And lastly, where could you use a little more systemization in your life? And maybe that's your business, maybe that is your relationship, maybe that is your workout, your diet and nutrition. Where do you need more systemization? All right, take some time to discuss, or if you're watching this online, put in some comments below.